Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Finance Made Easy. We are going to be talking about a very interesting topic today, is turning your personal expenses into your business expenses and writing it off. And a very specific element that we are going to be talking about today is turning your parties. It can be a social gathering, any kind of parties that you typically need. A lot of our social part of our socializations, we can essentially categorize them into something. As long as they're of business use, we can write them off legally in our tax returns as well. So remember this, as long as any expense is ordinary and necessary in terms of taxes or in terms of businesses, that is a tax write-off. So we are going to talk about some of the ways that we can potentially look into turning that as our tax write-offs. So one of the fundamental steps I would say is, instead of throwing parties, just make them throw as masterminds. So a lot of the places you probably have heard that masterminds are places where you brainstorm, network with people in your businesses for the purpose of your business as well. So instead of that socialization, on top of it, just invite your business friends, invite your business partners, invite your business elements. When I say elements, it can be your employees, it can be your other partners that you're planning on raising money with, your private money lenders. And instead of telling that, hey, it's just a birthday party, or any kind of party, maybe your personal get-together party, instead of that, make it as a mastermind. So say, for example, before XYZ party, you just make it at XYZ mastermind. That's simple. That's the first step. Second thing is, you need to keep attendance. So whenever, in case, if someone were to come in from IRS and say that, hey, we don't believe that you actually had a business relevance, then you do keep that, hey, these are the individuals that I had brought in for my business purpose. And of course, as long as they are customary, ordinary, necessary for your existing business operation or business growth, it is a write-off. And it is something off a ground that you can show that, hey, this is customary, a lot of people do this, so I'm doing this, and we can write it off. And that's when you establish your legal ground. Then, of course, you keep a logbook. Whenever you're keeping an audience, keep a logbook on the business event. So say, for example, part of the mastermind can be recognition. Some of the part of it may be networking events, and also the conversation you as a business owner or a business partner having with other business owners or business partners, or even your private money lenders as well. So try to keep some records of this conversation, so that when it comes down to what you actually did, you can say that, hey, this is the tangible amount that I used to grow my business, even if it did not actually, but I tried, I put the effort in to grow my business that way. The next step is to track your food. Even though for food, you are not allowed to write off 100%, because you are assumed to have, so say, for example, you go out at a business meeting with an investor or your partner, you will not be able to write off the 100% of it. IRS does allows you to take up to 50%, depending on when we're looking at it. It might even go away, depending on what the Congress comes up with. But so far, that's where we are. But when it comes down to the aspect of a mastermind, that is a necessary expense. So depending on how you structure it, part of the food, or even in some cases, most of the food, can be written off as an expense. Because now you're not the food there is not for your consumption. It is for the consumption of the mastermind. That's how, even though it's a significant cost of your party, now since it's not a party anymore, it's a business mastermind, you can essentially take a higher deduction in terms of your food cost. And of course, definitely look like a steal in the tax code is the AUGUSTA rule. Is when you take a few quotes, reach out to some of the local event arrangement places that how much it's going to cost, and then have that, if you have a big enough house for all the business owners and stakeholders to come in and hang out for that mastermind, or even have a good backyard, you do that and you have yourself written a check up to 14 days a year. So say, for example, it takes Marriott to host this size event, $2,000. So that means you can take from your business up to $28,000 as per this example, depending on where you are located at, tax-free. And you do not have to claim that as a taxable money in your returns, even though you have to show that in your business returns that, hey, you have that as a write-off for business. But on a personal case, that is not a taxable money. So let's sit down how to manage it, but that's the overall steps that you need to take for AUGUSTA rule. And last but not least, keep record of key business individuals. So what it means is, say, for example, you had a conversation with your PML on a particular deal, or a particular business expansion, or even particular business buyout acquisition. So keep a record of those key business individuals, so that if there was a situation that, hey, IRS came for an audit, you can have the relationship established that, hey, I did have this conversation, this is legit, and we can have all of those records shown to the IRS. And of course, at last, always make sure to keep the documentation properly. As we say here, the 5 rules: document. So as long as you keep those documentations properly, have your bookkeeper properly take care of those records. Record keepers, or you yourself, take care of that. And whenever you're reaching out to your CPA or your tax professionals or EA or even lawyer, make sure to have them, all of these included, explain to them how you came to these, and make sure to deliver all of those proper documentation. As long as you do this, your parties can be tax deductible as well. So let's have some proper tax planning for 2023. It's almost towards the end of the year. There's a lot of places where you are going to be hosting a lot of gatherings. So let's make them the most out of our time towards the end of the year, and have as much as legal tax deduction we can. With that, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them. Would love to answer them in our episodes and even make some videos out of it. If you need more clarifications, we also have our tax layer series. Make sure to tune into those. And if you have not subscribed, feel free to subscribe and help us reach to save at least $10 million in taxes legally this 2023. Help us help you. Let's make more, keep more, give more. Peace.